Hello, I'm X, Toycat, and welcome back to another video on the internet. So, something we don't give Minecraft enough credit for is fixing the Bedrock version of the game. I mean, sure, it's affectionately known as Bugrock because of just how buggy it can really be, but it is something they put a lot of effort into fixing, and to prove that, today I'm going to be going back to check out the 50 most common bugs we went through about 6 months ago now, and we'll be going back through and checking every individual bug and seeing if it has been fixed in that time, because in some cases, they have in fact been fixed. In fact, in the majority of cases, in just the last 6 months alone, many of Minecraft's most common annoying bugs have been fixed, and I wanted to dive through each of these in today's video, which has been done in collaboration with Silent Whisperer, the big Minecraft Bedrock bug guy. I totally recommend you check him out if you like Bedrock and if you like seeing bugs, because again, every individual one of these has been confirmed and check back through the changelog with Silent Whisperer. So with that said, let's dive straight into this video, shall we? Nearly all of them have been fixed or patched. Bedrock is not so slowly getting massive fixes, Bugrock no more. And I totally agree with Silent Whisperer, and that's why we're going to start with the first bug, which used to be a big problem just 6 months ago, because pick blocking items and placing them onto armor stands would cause crazy animations when holding animal items, like things that were so surreal they didn't even seem to make sense. That has been fixed in the 1.14 update. That's right, even outside of the beta, you'll see how this has been fixed right now. Armor stands work like they should. That's real nice, right? But you know what's nicer? The fact that it used to have just one type of armor you could put on an armor stand. If it was leather, it would always show as white armor. The color would be lost in that case, and that has been fixed in the 1.13.01 update. As you can see, our zombie is wearing brown armor, our armor stands are wearing red, yellow, orange, and green armor, and although they're not my favorite 4 colors, the fact that you can display them at all is something that is absolutely delightful. Speaking of delightful, number 3 is something that hasn't been fixed, so this is MCPE 48958. And just as a little side note, the reason it takes so long to fix so many Minecraft Bedrock bugs is because as of right now, there are 89,000 reported bugs. Some of those were fixed, some of those weren't true, but a lot of those are still being worked on in every update. And one of the few that hasn't been fixed is swimming through the air. If you swim against the ceiling, as we're going to be able to do right here, and then we hold the spacebar to kind of stay against the thing, you can see how we're swimming in the ceiling still in 1.16. Even in the latest beta, which is pretty close to pre-release based on how Java is working, even the latest beta allows you to swim in air if you set something up like this. I don't know if this is something I'd recommend plan on, getting used to and abusing or whatever, because if it gets fixed one day, you are going to come in some serious issues, but I do love the fact that you can literally swim in midair, which, in case you're curious, is a mildly faster way of doing things. If you want to have a super weird, like, zipline or something in Minecraft world, you can totally do that using bug number 3, the first bug to still exist. Next up here, we've got one of Minecraft's more bizarre bugs, because honestly, even boats going super fast on ice was an unintentional feature that's just been kept, but boats used to go super fast on buttons. It used to be kind of like ice for them because they'd be lifted off the ground very slightly, but as you can see, that is no longer the case. You can no longer ride boats super fast on buttons, which is kind of nice if you like consistency. And the other bug that's been fixed, because it's really nice that this has been fixed as of the 1.16.0.51 beta, we'll call it 1.16 for now. If you're curious as to why there's such long numbers, it's basically just to be like, this is the major version, and then the 0.0 point something indicates it's a beta for that version. So this is the 51st build of the 1.16 beta, and they fixed bug number 4 here, but also bug number 5. Boats used to store momentum when you exited them, so you could get into a boat and you could go flying, which was a super weird thing, but now as you can see, we'll ride along the blue ice, and then we'll get out, and the boat will go straight into our lovely lava pit, and that is a change from how it worked before. I actually kind of like this system more in 99% of the ways, but the old bug was amusing. It was useful in some cases because you could store the momentum, but I think it makes much more sense to 99.9% of Minecraft players for boats to not store the momentum, for it to work like anything else in the world, that when you're not interacting with it, it still exists. It doesn't store that momentum to you, just as boats do in the real world. Fun fact, if you get out of a boat, the boat doesn't pause until you get back in. Same with a car, and I had to learn that the hard way. But you know what I didn't learn the hard way? The fact that mobs cannot pathfind over buttons. This is a new little bug that seems to have appeared at some point in those betas. As you can see, buttons confuse mobs, which might be a really cool idea to block some villagers in a place, because as you can see, like, the villagers just don't know how to move anywhere, which might be real handy. And actually, you know, I might just abuse this one. I'm torn on it. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I be abusing this bug, or is it a bug and therefore we shouldn't? Be my morality police, internet, because Lord knows there's enough of that in the world. Anyway, speaking of that, number 6, the top of the cacti doesn't destroy items or damage mobs. This is, again, to me, one of the weirder ones that was true, because I noticed it and I was like, huh. What a weird thing, like just independently recently, but it was fixed in the 1.15.0.51 beta. If you're curious, the 1.15 update doesn't exist. It's part of 1.16 now. They decided to merge the two updates. So yeah, this is going to be fixed in 1.16. You can now stand on cacti and it will in fact hurt you. Do you want to do that? I mean, that's up to you. But you know what isn't up to you? Having your cancelled placement not work. So in 1.14, they took the bug where redstone ore, when updated, would cancel its own placement. It was a very, very bizarre thing. That's been fixed, and now as you can see, I can place redstone and jump on it, which is, you know, it's such a minor thing to be able to say, like, I can place redstone and it doesn't disappear. But again, Minecraft Bedrock has many bugs, and one of its many bugs would be that. So let's climb down this stack right now. Let's enjoy our little redstone tower we've made. You know, building with redstone, underrated idea, because it glows at night. It's got this, like, extra shimmer in the day that you just don't get otherwise, and yeah. You know, this is not a building tips video, but redstone ore is something I'm going to be playing around with. Speaking of things I can play around with, the Vexs never naturally die or despawn, which is a weird thing. So yeah, even when the evoker that spawns them dies, the Vexs, the little, you know, dude of the sword, look how tiny that iron sword is. It's adorable, isn't it? But, you know, he's literally smaller than a cat. I would argue, therefore, because small things are cute, that the Vexs is cuter than this cat right here. But yeah, we got this cute little dude of a cute little sword, and he will never despawn even when the mob that spawned him did. So yeah, if you have one of these in your world, you can have it forever. And I should take advantage of that, I guess. Would probably make myself a Vexs and put it in the museum or something. I might just have to do that. Speaking of things I might just have to do, killing wither skeletons. So the bug that we're mentioning right here is the fact that wither skeletons used to be poisoned by the withering effect, which is kind of funny because they're undead. They shouldn't really be withered that way. But now, as you can see, only I will get withered by that, and apparently I'm an idiot for throwing it that way. But you can see how I'm now immune to that. That's really great. It's also worth mentioning, just as a bonus bug right here that's been fixed, wither skeleton spawning, and indeed every mob spawning, but most importantly, wither skeleton respawning has finally been fixed. You can finally farm them. So second bonus bug that's been fixed, as opposed to bonus bug that's been found, is you will be able to kill wither skeletons in 1.16, and then they'll respawn. They won't just vanish and have an empty Nev fortress forever. It's such a great thing that I am so excited for. Unlike this next thing, because turtle eggs didn't used to attract undead mobs, they're meant to all attack at once, and it still kind of exists, but like not to the fullest extent. As you can see, if we spawn in a bunch of zombie pigments, who are our silent whisperer, you know, lookalikes today. I guess our silent zombie piglins. My apologies. As you can see, the zombie piglins ignore the eggs for a little bit, and then eventually they get kind of mad about it. There's a little bit of an update to their, you know, their code. Clearly, it takes a long time to kick in, but turtle eggs are no longer safe from the zombies, because I guess they become zombie eggs. Wait, zombie turtles! That should totally be what happens. I've just got a great idea for Minecraft. But speaking of great ideas for Minecraft, the 1.13.0.5 beta fixed the, you know, mobs failing to pathfind around certain blocks in Minecraft. So here you can see we've got ourselves a cow, we've got ourselves a cat, and they can pathfind over each other if they really want to. What a lovely little fix. Next up, we've got mobs not dying on magma blocks. Usually happens to ride with other mobs like spider jockeys, and that was fixed in the 1.15.0.53 beta. Big fan of that. Another one for the fixed file. Then over here, which is one of the most interesting ones from before, the 13th bug was that snow golems wouldn't attack if they couldn't pathfind to the enemy. Now they can attack, even though there's no way for them to get between it. Again, it's a buff to the snow golems. Most people aren't using snow golems seriously, but it's still a nice change to see. Also, wow, you can actually get hit by the snowballs today, I learned. And you can get hit from the snowball into the zombie. You know, this is a mechanic you could totally use in your survival world. I don't know how, but I find this beautiful. They're playing tennis with me, and I might just die as a result. The 14th bug was that librarians would never trade Trident enchantments. It was a very weird bug, but now, as of this update, they can officially do it. pretend this guy has a Trident enchantment to show. So as you can see, this is a Trident enchantment. Look, we are using the power of editing, and it looks like it's a Trident enchantment. Wow, that sure is fancy, huh? But yeah, as you can see, that is now possible as of the 1.15 or 1.16 beta, because again, they're the same update beta. It's a confusing thing, but what isn't confusing is the 15th bug. Shulkers spawn on the underside of blocks, float even when they open up, even more so when attacking. And now if we spawn in some Shulkers, you'll see how this in fact works. So now if we spawn in some Shulkers, you're going to see how they'll open up pretty normally. They won't magically float away and do some weird stuff like they used to, and that is a good piece of news in my opinion. Speaking of good pieces of news, we have the 16th bug. Horses when killed drop 2 of their armor, only happens with the leather horse armor. And yeah, this is one of the bugs that hasn't been fixed, and admittedly, it is one of the more beneficial bugs. I mean, don't you want yourself a nice sharpness, don't you want yourself like a couple sets of, you know, horse armor right here? Wait, he said it hasn't been fixed, but yeah, I'm killing 2. Okay, there we go. So it's a sometimes thing? Yeah, if you have horses and you farm those horses, you can use those horses to get more dyed leather horse armor, which I guess is useful for getting more leather, but I don't think many people get to use this very often. Because, I mean, unless you have a particular type of dyed horse armor and you really love the color, I wouldn't recommend it, but still, kind of nice, right? So the 17th bug is kind of funny here because Pillager patrols used to be super rare in every world, but now the bug has technically been fixed, but in the other way. There is a villager patrol that spawns everywhere now. Like, again, every hour-long Let's Play episode I do ends up with a villager patrol. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. I just know that it totally happens. And also, we've got a bonus bug, which was the fact that patrol spawned with Vindicators, which was removed from Java a couple of updates ago, which was fixed. So they fixed the bonus part of the bug, and they fixed the main part, but they kind of made a new bug, which I would argue is not fixing it. That's just changing the problem. But you can take your own opinion on that one. Speaking of things you can't have your own opinion on, though, we've got squids dying when in a single layer of water. As you can see, the squid, it's in a single bit of water, and it just does not manage to survive this. It's super weird because it looks like they should survive. It looks like they've got all the water and oxygen or whatever else a squid needs, but instead they die after a certain amount of time. This is bug 44,250. Again, that's like literally 40,000 bugs ago. In case you're curious, that's what the number literally means. And, wait, do they die? Okay, yeah, they do in fact die. Ooh, you know, seeing squid die this fast, kind of beautiful, right? A tragedy, you know, this is something global warming, but also a beautiful tragedy. Speaking of beautiful tragedies, let's move on to the 19th bug. Drowns have old mechanics. Ones without tridents can drop them, and the ones with tridents can drop too. So yeah, it's a super weird thing that was like an old beta version of things, but they have now fixed it, which means if we kill some drowns, which we'll totally do because it's fun, we won't get the old drop tables, we'll get the new ones. Even though all these drowns have tridents, we're going to only get 1 trident when they're killed, which I guess is a negative thing in my opinion. And yeah, if you want to get tridents, it's now going to be a little bit harder, but it's in line with Java. It was a parity change they made for the 1.15 update, as you can see right here, and I guess it's nice to see it fixed. Something else that it's nice to see fixed was the 20th bug. Dragons respawn on realms, are always original dragons and drop an egg, along with XP, only happens on realms, so no demo here. Yeah, realms and dragons have a huge problem. That was fixed, and the bonus bug was also fixed, which is kind of nice. So yeah, we've got another major fix and another little bonus fix. As you can see, all of these bugs were fixed, and it's a really nice thing. So the 21st bug was the press T return, shows up in chat every time you travel to a different dimension. This is meant to show up when you first load into a Minecraft world. I'm still not even sure why, but it also shows up when you change dimension. As you can see right here, press T or return to open chat. And it's especially rage-inducing to me because it shows up when you're on console. When you're playing on a thing where there is no return or T button, by the way, I didn't actually know you could press return until just now, even though it's said it to me all these times, because the message has doled out of my mind. It's a dumb thing. I don't know why it's still in the game. It seems like the simplest of bugs to fix, and despite the fact that we've gone through fixing so many hundreds of bugs over the past few updates, this one is still not fixed, and it's the most frustrating because it's the most visible. Everyone changes dimensions all the time, and everyone must see this, but for some reason, it hasn't been fixed. It's not even anywhere in anyone's priority list, it seems, or it's just so complex that people can't fix it. Either way, I am mad. I agree with this sign. Cute toy cat rage, indeed. Yeah, Silent Whisperer. He knows this makes me mad, apparently, and you know what? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But you know what else I appreciate? Lightning portals on the sides cause suffocation when in use occasionally. That has been fixed, sort of, it looks like. And the 23rd bug is that it's still possible for eating in portals to cause you to teleport. So yeah, do not eat while in a portal, which has actually happened to me a few times, but like it's not a common enough bug that I don't eat in portals because I really like eating while teleporting to a different dimension. Pro tip with Toycat. Speaking of pro tips with Toycat, the 24th bug is that fire is invisible on all non-wooden slabs, and it acts normally even though it's invisible. So it's not just that it doesn't exist, it's that it's there, it acts normally, it still burns you, and anything else around you, you just can't see it. But as of the 1.16 update, it has been fixed, and it makes sense to me that the Never update would fix some fire issues, but yeah, it's kind of cool to see right there that now you can place fire on half slabs, and it does in fact happen. The 25th bug was that lava clipping used to set you on fire through blocks, because lava has this really weird thing where it doesn't just hurt you where you are, it hurts you a little bit through blocks, but as you can see, it's like a half slab issue that has in fact been fixed right now. A half slab issue I really enjoy seeing fixed or potentially fixed. Again, if it's not fixed entirely, then it's fixed for the most part, is what silent means right here. And yeah, basically, pro tip, did you know you can't, even though you can waterlog slabs, you can't lava log slabs, so you can do some weird stuff with that if you really want to. Speaking of weird stuff you can do, let's hop into creative, shall we? And let's talk about the 26th bug, that magma blocks don't absorb or emit light at all. Turn to night and place a light in the ground and cover with magma. Okay, so here are some magma blocks. As you can see, they don't light up at all, even though they're literally magma, which is kind of weird because the redstone ore, when you tap on it, actually does have a significantly higher impact. So let's just prove this by placing a glowstone block, super bright, cover it with magma block, and the light just goes away. Huh. That is very, very bizarre and counterintuitive, and I think you'll find that it comes under the category of a Bedrock bug. The 27th bug is really hard to tell if it's a bug or a parity change, but either way, it's something that's not true on the Java version, but is true on Bedrock, because fishing hooks delete all minecarts in creative only, which is, I guess, like, you know, kind of like what you might expect when you fire one of these, that it will destroy the minecarts. So as you can see right here, the minecarts are slowly getting destroyed one by these fishing hooks. Only sometimes it seems, and whatever's inside them is just being broken as well. It's super strange if I'm being entirely honest. It is very bizarre, but it is something that you can do only in creative. So it's a bit of a bug, but not one that impacts your like normal day, I wouldn't say. Unlike the 28th bug, which is fishing bobbers freaking out in the water sometimes. Leave bobber in the water, let it grab a few fish, and then grab it. Okay, let's give that a try. So this bug was fortunately fixed, although it's not in the game anymore, it seems, which is kind of nice. Look at that, my fishing bobber here in the water, and it's not freaking out and being super strange, which is always great, I guess. Also, you know, I didn't know this till just now, but like, the fact that you can like get fish so soon after like ignoring an existing one, it's a fun little part of Minecraft, and it's a fun part that is now less broken than it was before. Next up, we've got the 29th bug, Silk Touch Stone and Cooked Stone do not stack. This was the weirdest bug. I still to this day didn't quite know how it happened. Like, you cook some stone up using some furnaces, you got some stone like this, and then you decide like, yeah, actually, I'd really like to mine some stone as well. And logically, you would have assumed they'd stacked, but before this, for some reason they didn't. There were 2 stacks of stones that were incompatible. Now you can see these stone blocks, because they're both just stone, are entirely the same. So stone that didn't stack before this update still doesn't. There was some different item ID or something that just prevents them from stacking. It's super strange, but it has been fixed as of 1.13. Also, the bonus bug of one of those 2 types of stone not being tradable to this villager has in fact been fixed. Wow, isn't that delightful? The 30th bug is also super weird because apparently leaves didn't used to stack together. I actually forgot going through this in my original video, but the different types of leaves were not stackable at one point, which is super bizarre. But that has been fixed in the 1.13 update. We are pleased to announce, report, say, use words to indicate. Also a nice change, although apparently not, is the fact that bubble columns don't let water flow correctly, and that is still around. The bubble column is still interrupting the flow of the water, which maybe makes some sense, maybe you like, maybe you don't. And let's go ahead and remove this and place some water there. I am very curious actually. It's been a while since we did all these ones. These ones didn't stick in my head so much. So let's see what happens when we place water there. It's the same. The water can only flow 1 block. Super interesting stuff, actually. Speaking of super interesting things, the sponges leaving ghost water behind them has been fixed in the 1.16.055 beta. Very recently, it does have to be noted. As you can see, place a sponge in there, no ghost water, just lava and soul sand. Lava, which, by the way, doesn't even emit light. What's the deal with that, huh? Speaking of things of deals, jack-o'-lanterns and fence gates need to be placed on a block. These are the old mechanics. So yeah, this was always the most confusing thing to me, that you had to place them on the side of something. I always felt like that was a weird bug. And it turns out I was correct about that in my feelings, and you know what, therefore feelings are just correct. That is the only thing you can take away from that little statement I just said. So yeah, you can place jack-o'-lanterns in the sky right now. Previously, you had to place them on top of something and then remove the thing they were on top of. It was very, very frustrating, but now you can just place it right in the middle of the sky, and you can even tower up with them if you want to. Is that a good idea? Some would say no, but you know, some people are cowards. Speaking of cowards, the 34th bug, iron trapdoors and doors have the old clicking mechanisms. You click them as if you're trying to open them. It was super, super weird that you could do this, but apparently it's still around. I don't know why. It's admittedly a minor bug, but like, I don't like that you're like throwing your thing against it like you're trying to use it. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, but you know what else doesn't make sense to me? The 35th bug, observers facing powered redstone emit a pulse when reloading the chunk they're in. Basically, redstone's broken, and when you reload and go in the chunks, it breaks everything. This is, I guess, Silent Whisperer's version of the press T or return bug. So we proved this one. We'll place some redstone ore. Actually, we'll place something less redstone-y so you don't know it's that. Here you can see 3 blocks are here. The observer block, because this hasn't changed, shouldn't do anything unless we reload the chunks, which we'll do for now just by reloading the world so that you can see it happening in front of our eyes. You can see how, oh, they all got knocked off when I wasn't there, and they all fell onto this. So yeah, basically it's very frustrating because every time you reload the game, or every time you reload the chunks even, just by going out for simulation distance, your redstone will mess up and things will go very bizarrely, and you have to build around that, which some people don't like. In fact, I'd say anyone who likes redstone doesn't like. Speaking of things people who like redstone don't like, or yes, logging out bugs, if you log out while on glass above lava, you'll spawn under the world in the void, stand in the middle of the glass platform, and log out/in. So let's, you know, it's been fixed, I can tell you. I can just show you and be like, that was the wackiest bug. Because the Minecraft game logic is if you know, it tries to spawn you on the highest block possible, on a, you know, wherever you spawned. But if that highest block has been removed, it spawns you on the one underneath it. And because glass is transparent, it won't let you spawn on glass, but it can't spawn you in lava. So for some reason, it just assumed, you know what, we'll spawn you in the void instead, therefore. Super, super wacky stuff, in my opinion. And it's thankfully been fixed. The 37th bug is that channeling only affects one mob, even if you got a big group of them. The lightning that spawned will only affect the mob that you attacked. Actually, let's turn on the thunder first. So here you can see it's thundering, and now if we Trident, you'll see how the lightning, oh my god, that was a weird visual effect, but the lightning hits all 16 creepers, as indeed it should. That is a really cool fix from the 1.13 update, and that lightning was super intense, right? Like, oh my god, it literally covers your screen the way it is. That is some crazy stuff happening right there. You know, this is almost a bigger bug, I would say, the lightning blinding you. But yeah, bonus bug, not listed right here, is that lightning is now blinding and will cover things up. Like, you can see the blocks behind just fine, right? Like, you can see, it lets you see through all the mobs. Super strange thing, in my opinion. Wait, just for fun, let's fire at some of these guys and see if the same thing's true. Yeah, you can see through mobs when there's lightning striking them. Except this guy. This guy does not let me do that. Wait, can you not lightning strike villagers? Huh, I wonder if that's a bug. Doesn't make any sense to me. I know I should stay on topic with these videos, but this is a Bedrock Java parity difference. Because piglins are a mob now, as we've already seen, they got the cute little bunny ears. I mean, I don't know if they're really bunny ears. They look like bunny ears to me on the one side. Because piglins are like a unique individual mob, they're not meant to be able to be obtained by lightning striking a pig. But yeah, I lightning strike the pig, and then a second later, we get a piglin spawning. Fascinating, huh? The 38th bug has also been fixed, the infinite repeating summoning of lightning from a channeling trident. I really like this one. It was super, you know, kind of trippy to see, but yeah, it has been fixed. Sadly, you can't use the channeling and get an infinite lightning chain, which was super cool, but has been fixed. Speaking of super cool things that have been fixed, we've also got the 38th bug. Comparators sometimes don't read from hoppers. This breaks sorting systems, because you could use a hopper clock to get a consistent, like, sort. In fact, I'll just show you right here. Like, so here is a hopper clock. It's just a single item going back and forth, and the redstone comparator is measuring, and as you can see, it's kind of alternating the two outputs. It's a kind of cool thing to watch and to see, in my opinion. But you know, it used to not work, but it has been fixed. It's a redstone bug that is no longer in the game, and that is a really good thing to see. Like the 40th bug, barrels failing to conduct redstone power. They work when first placed down, but break and unload. What? That's a very weird one. That has been fixed in 1.15. Barrels don't conduct redstone. Huh. I wonder how that even happens, you know, how they have like semi-redstone conduction powers, but apparently they did. Anyway, next up, let's go to the 41st bug. As you can see, this is one that actually like hurts the player because it was a thing that was broken for so long that I just got used to as the status quo. Anvils never used to take damage from use, only if they fell, which means you can enchant as many items as you wanted to and they would never break. But as we saw recently in my Let's Play even, anvils can break, and it's super sad. It's very sad. But you know what else is sad? The fact that the 42nd bug hasn't been fixed. I mean, they fixed this one, the bug, which, I mean, like, it makes sense that they need to fix it. It's a game mechanic, but they didn't fix the 42nd one, that none of the particle commands work. Every single one is broken. Although, you can make custom particles. Also, these ones never go away, it seems. You just get an infinite string of fire particles. But yeah, that is MCPE 41,468, and is another one for the fail column. But you know what isn't for the fail column? The 43rd bug, which is pick. Actually, wait, this isn't the fail column. Pick blocking items can replace the tools/weapons that you have on your hotbar. So if we you know, hop into survival real quick, you can see how and then just grab some you know, grass blocks. Even though I've got a sword right here, I pick block, it replaces the sword. On Java, what it does is it, you know, obviously uses a free spot instead, because your gear should be immune from the pick block tool. But as you can see right here, that is not true, and that is a big tragedy. Just like the tragedy of the no sounds for drinking water, potions, or milk, which was fixed in 1.13, so that is always good to see, right? The 45th bug is one that is extra funny to me because it is an offhanded feature. If you put tipped arrows in your offhand slot, then you would fire default arrows even if you don't have the default arrows. It was a super strange kind of thing in my opinion. So here is, wait, let's grab one of these. As you can see, wait, pick it up right there. Let's put on our infinity bow. Let's put this in here, and as you can see, boom, it's firing a regular arrow. So it's the best type of bow for a lot of people's opinion, but the arrows that you have are not being used. Instead, you're getting regular arrows from it. And I totally get that, like, yeah, Infinity shouldn't work with regular arrows, but Infinity should allow you to use potion arrows if you want to. You know, like, it should be, you know, using them up instead. But instead, it just uses a regular arrow and keeps your stack of them in your offhand. Super strange stuff, especially because if you don't put it in your offhand, as you can see, it does work. It does use the arrows, because Infinity doesn't work that way. And it means that you can turn your arrows into one of two things by using the offhand to make regular arrows, or you take them out of the offhand and you get poison or wither or whatever arrows you might want. By the way, wither arrows, Minecraft Bedrock exclusive feature. But yeah, speaking of Bedrock exclusive features, the 46th bug, smooth quartz and normal quartz having the same textures. It was a bug for so long. I don't know how, but all of these things used to be exactly the same. This didn't used to be a difference between the two textures, and yeah, why was it a bug for, you know, literally like half a year? I don't know. It seems like it's just a texture change, but again, the workings of Minecraft are a very mysterious thing that we don't really know the answer to. Speaking of things we don't know the answer to, the 47th bug, full damage is randomized. The amount of damage you take varies a ton. Put the boots on and press the button when ready. You know what? You can't tell me what to do. I'll put on the boots when I'll put on the boots. So this is Feather Falling 4, and if we go into survival, we already are. What's meant to happen is we're meant to take 2.5 hearts of damage, I think, from this fall, but instead we take 2. Wait, minimum 2.5, maximum 4.5, and then we do it again, and we take 2, and we do it again. Actually, this is pretty consistent. It could be that it's been fixed since Silent Whisperer dove through it. That is kind of cool. Let's go through and check, actually. Okay, according to the bug tracker, this has been fixed in just the last couple of weeks alone. That is a really cool thing. In the time since Silent sent the world back with its comments, this has been fixed. And that's cool that literally in the last couple of weeks, one of the 50 most annoying common bugs that we encountered has been fixed as well. Again, you don't notice that it's been fixed because it's one that you just accept as being a thing, and then one day it doesn't break quite as hard, but it shows the investment and the commitment to Minecraft Bedrock, just like the fact that the 48th bug, trapdoors having incorrect hitboxes, has been fixed, just like the 49th bug, ice slows you down if you walk on the edge, has been fixed, and just like the 50th bug, for a glorious 50 out of 50, has in fact been fixed. Skins reset to marketplace skins on startup. It's worth mentioning that although this has been fixed, there are so many skin bugs in Minecraft. Like, all I want to do is I just want to be my little Ocelot skin, right? But as you can see, the number of weird things that happen as I tried to do that are so intense. The number of times my game just doesn't let me be an Ocelot, even after like loading in, loading out, etc. The number of times I have to like just pick a different skin, it's insane. It's like, this is a skin that theoretically I didn't. It's from a free skin pack. You could pay for a skin and have issues going in an outfit, and that is insane to me that, like, you know what, this is a key thing that is a thing there. So yeah, 37, it's actually 38, off the bugs have been fixed, plus the free bonus bugs, giving us a total of 38 out of 51 fixed bugs. I think that's the maths, right? Or in other words, 71%, 77 if you take the bugs that are partially fixed, or just have another bug replace them instead. But 70 to 80% of the bugs within, just like 50, random annoying bugs have been fixed within the last 6 months. Obviously, you could say, well, they look at that video and they saw it as the thing to fix. No, Silent Whisper has been making videos about bugs forever, and that has not changed things. It's not the videos that change things, it's just this is the level of bug fixing that happens behind the scenes. Bugs do get fixed, it's just the bugs that do happen are super frustrating. The number of bugs we have compared to Java does seem super high, and they are very different, and yeah, I'm very pleased to have made it here to the end, but I just want to use this video to remind you that yes, Minecraft Bedrock is buggy, but it is always improving, it is always getting better, and that is a positive sign for the future, in my opinion. I think, Minecraft is a game that we always look at as just being like this thing that exists, but it's a continuously evolving piece of art, piece of work, piece of video game history. It's a masterpiece which is always changing, always evolving, and sometimes it might change for the worse, but for the most part, it's changing to become a better, more stable, more playable, more fun to dive into game, and that's something I think we should just take a moment to appreciate, and we'll ring the bell. Just that one's for Mojang. Also, wait, ring the bell for this video so you can see more of mine. Now, YouTubers say that at the end, but you know what? Don't hit the bell. I don't deserve it. I just went through some bugs. What you should instead do is you should thank Silent Whisper for going through and collecting all of these bugs. You should thank the new editor who has edited this video. The link is in the description. And you should thank your friends and family and those that allowed you to live in a world where you could watch a Minecraft video uninterrupted for all of this time and learn more about one of the things you love so much. Because without passions and hobbies and those who enable them to exist, who really are we? The answer is just other people. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.